Hi, everybody, and welcome to this conversation with the Morning Tea Marketing Misses, where we offer valuable tips to help small business owners, sole traders, and anyone listening and watching to help improve their online presence, business ideas, and also, just a lot of life skills as well. Your hosts are Narelle Gaddy. Narelle is an accessibility auditor. We've got Lara Arden, and Lara is a business awards coach. And with Jan Roach, Jan has two businesses. One is BizConnect Web Design and Over 50s Health. And I am Janeen Vosper, and I help women in leadership roles to remove any limiting beliefs and be able to have a conversation. And talk about conversation, I am talking about, we're talking finance this month, and I wanted to share some ideas, something that when I'm working with people, one of the first things I ask them is, what do you want to create? Now, depending on what we're talking about and what I'm helping them with, it would be a different answer. But when I'm talking business, it's really a great starting point as to really what you want to build. Now, whether we mentioned in the last conversation a little bit about what is being rich. And rich could be, a lot of money in the bank if that's what you want. It can be having a roof over your head. It can have your family around, and whatever that looks like for you. So really understanding what it is you want to create and how you're going to get there. So what I have done my entire career is I've looked at it in 10-year chunks. And as I've got through each component of 10 years, I've gone, so what do I want the next 10 years to look like? What's that space there? So by the time I've now got to my age, that I've gone, then I'm living the life and got the business of exactly what I created. And it's a really cool spot to be in. And that's what is so important. People get on this treadmill and they're not consciously aware of the decisions they're making. And that's such an important factor. We're often being really reactive instead of proactive, going, this is what I want to create. So when my children were younger, I thought, what can I do as a job that can fit in with what their lives were? So I taught aerobics and became an aerobic instructor, and I was able to take them with me. But while I was an aerobic instructor, I thought, now they're getting a bit older. What can I do next? So I went and studied management and became a sales rep. Right. What do I want to create? Well, I want to create my own business. So while I was working as a GM, I then started creating my business. So then I'd have the lifestyle that I've got now, because I wanted to have a lifestyle business. So it's worked for me. And that's what I really want to encourage people when I ask them, what do you want to create? So when we're talking finances, particularly, what do you need to get to where you want to go? Because I don't need to have 5 houses, but if that's a way for me to have income, or for you to create an income, then that will work as well. But you really need to know exactly what it is and be conscious about it. Not just do things because someone else has said this is a good idea, or not just do it because you're on the treadmill of life. You really want to know what's out there. And if you do need then to budget, as we talked about last week, or invest in your life and your business, then you need to know what you need to do. And investing, I've spent well over $150,000 on education, and that's not formal education. That's working with some of the best mentors, coaches, leaders in the world, because I knew if I did that over that time frame, that I was creating what I was creating along the way to have what I have now. And I'm so tired of people who say, I can't afford it. I want to do it, but I can't afford it. It's not that you can't afford it. You're just not prioritizing it yet. Exactly. And what does that look like to you? If you want to create something, if you know that you need to invest in a coach, if you need to invest in whatever that'll help your business, then what is that? And how are you going to do that to create it? And I'll just mention one more thing, and then I'll sort of open up. One of the things I do at the start of the year is I write my goals. I write professional and personal goals. And Rel, I think you saw this on the webinar that I did with Nick the other night. So I'll go, okay, let's just have a golf one as a personal goal. I want to get my handicap down to let's say 20.
Mm.
Well, what's wrong? Why can't I? And it's okay, I'm missing shots in the middle of the fairway. So I need to get a coach who can help me with those shots in the middle of the fairway.
Nice.
So that's, what I encourage people to do. If you want to achieve something, figure out what it is, what a priority is. Don't have too many priorities, just so you can focus on the ones that work. For business this year for me was increasing the SEO in my business and having more people finding me. And which is exactly what happened. It's happened. And I think my website inquiries have gone up in the last couple of weeks. There was over 5,000 and something hits on it.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
they're staying on for about 4 minutes now, which is
Wow.
really good.
Very good.
So so that was a priority this year. What do I do? How do I do it? And one of my clients does this, and so I got her to help me and contracted her to help me get this done. So that's what I'm saying when it comes to finances. Pick what you want and then figure out how you're going to get there.
Yeah, love it. Can I share with you as well? And congratulations for being organised, Janeen, and being able to
write out.
Yeah, well, it's a strength. I'm glad you've got it because it inspires the rest of us. And so, because I remember last time we talked when you were talking about how I think we were talking about balance, weren't we? And what are our strengths? Yeah, that's right. And I remember that you mentioned that being organized is a strength of yours. And so that really got me thinking about, how I could, implement that into my own way of being as well. So for the last week, I actually did a 12-month strategic plan for the next 12 months ahead financially. And it ended up being, like a 6-page thing. So here we go. Here it is.
Oh, that's pretty.
Goes on.
That's pretty.
That's pretty.
But it was a really worthwhile exercise. It took me a couple of days to do it because it's the first time I've ever done like a big 12-month plan, and then each quarter and then looking at each month as well. But it was so valuable as an exercise because it helped me get really clear on what am I doing every quarter, what am I doing every month, and exactly as you say, just having one thing to focus on, and like that, let that being like I'm imagining the image of the jar where you've got your rocks and then you've got your pebbles and then you've got your sand. So you put your big rocks in first. So for me, what I'm working on this next financial quarter is I've got a book that I started writing a while ago and I've got 3 chapters of 12 done. So for me, the big rock for this financial quarter is to get the book finished because I want to have that published and out there launched in the following financial quarter. So yeah, getting things one step at a time, or one thing at a time, and letting that be the priority. So thank you for inspiring me to get organized.
Well done with getting the book written.
And the thing is, Janeen, is, as you said, what you've said is definitely what you need to do with finance, isn't it? You need to plan. If you're going to buy that new piece of equipment for your business, it's going to cost. Try and get it that you pay for it up front to minimize the drag on your business. Or if you're going to go for a loan, that you're going to have that income coming in all the time to pay for that interest and pay for the principal and, pay it all off so you're not penalized in any way. But at the same time, that asset needs to be making money for you.
Yeah.
It can't just be an asset that's sitting there. It needs to work for you.
Exactly.
Oh, I do like pretty things that just sit there though too, Narelle.
So I'm just reminded of one of the things that I came across in this book that I've been reading on Profit First by Mike McCallowitz, and he talks about when there's something new that you want to add to the business, a really good strategy to help us get ready for that expense is to just start saving and putting aside the cost of that expense for up to 6 months before we implement it, and that way we know that we're going to have the funds there to continue to provide for that and to keep that that extra thing that's happening in the business in position so that it helps the business stay sustainable. I thought that was a really nice way of getting ready for for business growth and new expenses as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Talking about getting ready, when I was working as a GM, that was when I started building my business. So I had a really good regular income, and that's when I started building everything I needed in the business, whether it was the website, whether it was just planning ahead. And that's, the website's changed. There was things that, you know, as things mature over 17 years, of course they do. But that's where the planning comes in, and using that income to invest in your business. And have things set up so that when you're in that first 3 years where you're really trying to make a living, and you've got a lot of things already done and covered.
Exactly. Yeah. Coming from in front rather than behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good point.
Yeah, you're very quiet today, Jan. I know you've been away for the weekend.
No, look, it's all really great points. It's really good information. And yes, Lara's been talking about your strategy of being organised. I'll remember it for a very long time, and that is, I'm organised. Being organised gives me flexibility. I'm living by it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Peter, how can I fit in that golf game on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
That's my question. So, yeah, we're recording this on a Monday, and I've actually booked the golf game for tomorrow.
It's a big rock. You got to put it in.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, and I love the way that rock is something that takes care of you. You know, like this is something else that I learned recently, is it's great to have like a 12-month business plan for the business. And then we also want to have a 12-month business plan for the business owner, for the entrepreneur, the person that's, you know, in charge and leading it all, because our business can only be as healthy and as wealthy as we are as well. So we've got to look after ourselves too. Yeah, and making sure that we've got things that we're putting in for ourselves every quarter, every month, every week, every day. And so something I realized I want to do for myself, like, you know, creating a 12-month business plan for me as well, is that every quarter I'm going to put in a self-development quest or a program where, you know, I'm always doing something to grow myself as well every quarter. Yeah,
that's a great idea. And then that's, so that professional development and personal development, and I've done this for years and years and years. What at the start of the year, what outcome do I want? You know, what do I want to learn this year? What do I want to get better at? How do I want to? So what things do I need to invest in?
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. And it keeps you on track, so you're not sort of attracted by a bright shiny object somewhere else.
True. Yeah. I think of it as the bowling alley and the guardrails, you know, it's almost like, well, I guess that's the vision and the mission, isn't it, really, when we can write that down? That's the rails that keep us on track. Yeah,
definitely. That's cool. So that's my ideas about planning for the future and planning for what you want. So, and we've got a couple more episodes this month coming up on finances with Jan and Lara. I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say. That's another episode of the Morning Tea Marketing Misses. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. Let us know, track us down on YouTube and comment, please. We look forward to you joining us next time. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.